Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. You all are watching the Female Pro League Season 1 Frozen Divas. It's me, Skadiet. Alongside me, we've got Warren here, and you all are watching it exclusively on ESEL. Make sure to leave a like out there as well and show your support out there for all the teams because guess what? One lucky winner who leaves a comment in the comment section will receive 300 diamonds as a giveaway. Now that is big, man. As soon as Warren shows up, we've got fun events happening all around us, and one of those is definitely going to be the two best of threes that we have today, Warren. How are you feeling?
First of all, I'm feeling great because, yeah, after the winter, there was a little bit of a window of no tournaments, no stuff happening. But right now, it exploded. There is so much stuff happening. I'm loving it. I hope everyone watching is loving it too. And of course, part of that is what we are having here today. As you mentioned, second day. So Boars Esports that are in the second BO3, we kind of know a little bit about. But Boars Divine and Crimson Onyx, those are kind of, we don't know anything. We don't know their skill levels. We can only guess, maybe some background information if you have those. But for me, it's a complete mystery.
I mean, it's most of that has actually been surprise for not just me, even Synchro as well, right? Because we haven't really seen a lot of all of these, people play out there. Mostly, the scene has been active in the other department, but now seeing all the divas play around, all the female rosters slowly and steadily getting that recognition, that's where we know that eventually they will also grow and we'll see a lot of competition here. One of our team which is going to bring the competition is going to be Crimson Onyx. We just saw their roster as well in front of us, ladies and gentlemen, and I know a lot of people are wondering. They've got their whole eyes on Pinku along with Nakikun, Radical Feminist, 3M, and Atel Tone. I really hope I pronounced those names correctly. And we've also got the roster of
Boars
Boars
Divine,
as
yeah,
well.
absolutely.
We've got three different rosters of Boars, by the way, Warren.
They are really investing in the female esports, and I'm loving it. I'm loving it. They are showing the support, and I love it. I love it. That's absolutely great, absolutely awesome. But maybe they
Yeah.
know something we don't. Maybe they see in the future. They know that girls will actually become much better at esports than boys. So maybe that's it.
True. I'm looking forward to it because we all know, right? There's a level that has already been set by the one and only, which we've seen a lot of times in multiple events as well. That is Tracy. So I'm expecting all of these other people as well to stand up to that level. Anything. We've got a list of participating teams as well, ladies and gentlemen. We've got Boars Queens, Lovely Target, Moonstars, Zero Vision, Helicopters, Angels, Boars Esports, Phantom, Boars Divine, Witch Please, Crimson Onyx, FUT Esports, Sphinxes, and Bringing Bads. Now, the big name out there out of all of this is definitely all the rosters of Boars as well as FUT Esports. That's something you'd all want to look forward to. The game that we'll have today is going to be Crimson Onyx taking on Boars Divine. We did talk about the roster of Crimson Onyx a bit. I want to talk a little bit more about Boars Divine here too because this is a roster that we're going to see right now for the very first time. Kangchana, Kishi Kaise, Kashap, Siora, and Kisling. I hope that I'm not butchering any of those names, Warren. You've got to correct me on that. But we've got the best of three up in front of us, and it's the game number one. Crimson Onyx on the blue, taking on Boars Divine on the red.
Absolutely. Right now, they are still thinking through the bands. I am really excited about the about the part of the meta. How it shifted. What are we going to see? Because there was some break between the last tournaments and what we are having right now. So I would love to see how it shifted. But at the same time, we had M7, right? So of course
Yeah,
M7 set it all up, and everyone is gonna copy that. So Leon Ward being banned. What did we expect, honestly?
I really like it, right? Because last time when we saw the divas, most of that was actually more lean towards comfort picks, as long as it was not the lineup of Boars and all the other teams. They still like to go in for their niche picks as well, right? So that's something which this time around I really want to see changed up because here's the big thing. yesterday when we were watching, or not even yesterday, a day before yesterday when we were watching the games of Boars Queens taking on Lovely Target, we did see a lot of those comforts in the form of gold lane Mia, mid lane Nana, and a roam Diggy. So that's something which they thought might actually work out, but the competition is actually pretty high. So you know that most of your game plan should be worked around towards the draft itself. And that's where we are seeing Boars Divine up against Crimson Onyx focusing on the same part as well. Leomord banned out, which you rightfully mentioned. Jushin is the answer back to. I'm gonna tell you a fun fact here, Warren. A small insight of what happened previously. Teams like to ban out the early Valentinas to force a Sora ban.
All right, all right. Yeah, that's definitely a strategy I saw even before, so I'm not that surprised. But I'm happy that the teams are starting to pick up on that and trying to play the mind games because draft, it's all about those mind games. Honestly, draft is the closest part of MLBB that's like chess. Like even the game is kind of like chess, but draft part, I feel like is the closest in the strategy
Yeah,
department where you are like kind of trying to know what your opponent is going to do and you are trying to be in his head and think 5 steps ahead and sometimes it works,
true.
sometimes it doesn't work. Freya will be banned out. So far it looks like that Crimson Onyx are really locking in, well, honestly both teams are really locking in the bans that we so far saw are pretty popular. I feel like,
Yeah,
at least from what we are seeing right now, this will be high octane, high competition matchup because I don't see any weird bans, I don't see any target bans. It's everything is meta. Granger, kind of,
yeah.
he's throwing a
You
wrench
called
into
it.
that. Just when I said it, Granger seems personal. Like someone on Boros Divine, probably that being their goal laner, is playing a lot of Granger because this feels personal.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Cassell might actually be a little bit more comfortable on that Granger, so it does seem like a target ban here. Freya is understandable. The last ban should be a Basha, which we normally know teams don't really like to go for these days. They do
Grok.
change it up, and that's the tweak. I like it. Croc ban. Don't want to give them that early control. But this kind of leaves the room open for the Eve to be picked up, which we mostly see on that ban section.
Yeah, exactly. Yves could go through very, very easily. And at the same time, there's not really that many high pro picks, right? Like other than Yuzong, maybe, possibly, right?
Gisan Shin.
Yeah, even after the nerfs, yeah, you are right. One of the most bans on M7 as well, so yeah.
Exactly. It's one of those comfort niche picks into
Forza!
the
It's
jungle.
a Forza first pick. Ooh, alright,
Exactly.
spicy.
That's a bit surprising. That's a bit surprising because now you can lock in a lot of counters as well, including a Gadot Kacha, or maybe you can go in for a Kalia to force a Purify onto Pinku, and that would be problematic.
You could definitely go for that. But right now, you are beefing up your front line. Ooh, Carrie. I know Carrie has a decent spot in meta. She's very strong. Next to Claude, right? Those two we are seeing the most often. But I don't know if I am a fan of Carrie this soon into the draft when you just see Farsa. And Farsa, she is not really threatened by Carrie. She doesn't really care.
True. If anything, she's kind of the counter of Carry.
Yeah,
You've got the long range bombardments, right? Carry needs that Malefic gun to at least have that range to maybe hit you while she's at the edge of the feathered airstrike. Apart from that, she's mostly going to outrange her in every other fight. The only major problem for Fasa right now is going to be the Fredrin walking up right onto her face, knocking her up, and then getting that taunt in on time. But apart from that, I'm expecting a disengage for Crimson Onyx. I was kind of expecting a Kalia for them, considering we have seen a lot of Farsa Kalias combination early on, but they're doubling down onto that dive, including the Nolan in the jungle. Now that
yeah.
is interesting.
I mean, you want to deal with Kerry because from locking in Kerry, you can see, you can know that she will be one of the powerhouses of the team. Usually with Kerry, you don't go like multiple Kerry heroes. Kerry is kind of the baby of your team. You're protecting her, feeding her, getting her ready to crush your opponents. So if no one can deal with her, well, that's one less trouble for you.
That is true. But again, you're kind of just forcing onto the wind of natures a bit early on. And if anything, all you need is a ton of peel, and Nolan is going to be easily nullified. But at the same time, I think so. You kind of need some kind of disengage tool as well, just to make sure that your carry is staying safe. Fredrin is one of them. Maybe adding the second layer in the form of a Minotaur or even a Kaja might be a really good answer.
Kaja
Uranus
would
being logged
be,
in.
yeah, go on.
Uh huh. Just thinking, Uranus being logged in, that basically means a brick wall boring lane of EXP.
Yeah, brick wall it is. But what goes in the department of defending your carry, not by just menacingly standing there and staring right into their soul and being very threatening. Well, you don't really have tools for that. You cannot really do anything in a sense of CC, some big spell, knock up, something like that. If you look over on the other side, there is a lot of death coming onto Carrie. Alice will jump on top of her with the CC ultimate, so for sure Carrie needs Purify. But right after that, there could be further strike. There could be Nolan flanking.
Mm.
The Nolan will need to find his flanks. If he doesn't succeed in that, he will be useless. I agree. Yes, he cannot play it front to back. Front to back is death sentence to him.
I agree. That's one of the big things. At the same time, I personally feel, again, that's a bit of a personal experience out here, considering I've been spamming carry a lot. Alice is not really that big of a threat to her until and unless you've got a secondary source of damage, which you rightfully mentioned is going to be the Nolan in this case, along with the Farsa. So you either double down onto that dive to make sure that Farsa never lands that feathered airstrike, and Nolan is nowhere allowed close to that carry, which also doubles it down to maybe picking something that can stun him up on his place, stop him across his tracks while peeling for the team. Or on the other end, yeah, pick something up that maybe can actually just stand in behind the line and help your carry out. We talked about the Minotaur. Minotaur has been instantly locked off. Zatian as well, to some extent, I personally feel provides you that opportunity to be a little bit safe, considering she can hop around you with her passive intact, and if anyone tries to get in close, they're going to be pushed back.
Yeah, Zatian standing on top of Kerry is interesting approach. It could be helpful even against initiating Elise, because she jumps on top of you, and I'm not sure about the knock-up range. I don't think it's quite enough, but it will definitely push Alice away from the rest of the team. So she might still catch you too, but she might not catch the rest. So Zetian could possibly be the idea for mid. And we know that Zetian could be super, super deadly into Forza because she outtrades her early game. She's able to get the mid lane prio. And with Gatot, you will need all the mid lane prio you can get from the mid laner, because Gatot, he is not the, like, he is a threat, but he is not like Kalia or Cho, Like he is not pressuring mid lane that heavily by himself.
That is true. That is true. I agree. Kalia could actually be a pretty solid pick for Crimson Onyx right now. You've got a
Really?
couple of diving agents in the form of Alice and Nolan. You lock in a Kalia, and since Leslie and Claude have been banned out, who else can you actually pick up that can burst down that beefy front line? Ruby.
Ruby Gold?
If it's in Rome, I think so. It's okay. But if it's in Gold Lane, yeah,
it's Sylvana. Nah, wait. What do you think? Is it Sylvana Rome? Because I saw that. I saw thanks Sylvana Rome. It is, right? It has to be.
It is, but then you are just... The idea is same for both of these lineups if you think about it, right? You've got Ruby to stop anyone from hopping on Farsa. You've got the I'm offended and don't run Wolfsgang. While on the other side of the spectrum, now you've got the Fredrin who will try to stop anyone approaching towards the carry, and then you've got a triple dive in the form of Lunox, Kato, and Uranus. So both of these lineups have got the same idea. Make sure that your ADC is staying alive in the back of the line while the rest of the people are jumping on to take down the other side's ADC. It is all going to fall down onto that macro and micro, and if I'm just looking objectively at both of these scenarios, early turtle fight, definitely for Crimson Onyx, they will have the advantage, while the late game scaling is supporting Boars Divine. So Crimson Onyx would want to finish this game as early as possible.
Oh, absolutely. But the thing is that radical feminists will need to work over time because, especially if you have this kind of meta pick on the roam, you want to utilize how much combat power it has. It's the same idea with Cho, it's the same idea with Kalia. You want to make plays happen around the map, be active. And especially with the team comp, as you mentioned, that is on the clock, it's ticking off. They need to make plays happen, and radical feminist needs to take the charge.
With that, right now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be hopping into the land of dawn, and in order for them to take that charge, you could instantly see Boars Divine having that aggressive approach in the mid lane. Though I was kind of expecting the Sylvana Farsa to clear the mid out first, but it does seem like they're going to be taking the slow approach in that, while the river control has been given to Boars Divine. Both the junglers are simply going in for their buffs. Now, Nolan will have the advantage in terms of clearing out his own jungle camp. So, he can instantly hop in, try and steal out a few camps off the other side. And that is the playstyle of Nolan. You want to play aggressive.
Right now, some fights happening on the top side, but we all know Uranus. He is going to heal up the longer you fight in Farsa. Getting pushed away. Pinku, half HP and cannot even walk through this bush. I don't think he will lose minions on the mid lane. I think he can catch that.
Should be able to, yeah. She's going to be hopping there instantly. You also have the radical feminists there. Just making sure that
Magic shoes. Did you catch that? Magic shoes. She is going crazy. But she's getting caught right now between a rock and a hard place. She's healing up. Shield going through. Ooh, damn. Like that. Like from the worst thing to kind of decent survival. I was quite surprised. I thought she's dead for sure. Nolan on the mid line. He's playing 1v2. He is playing with fire.
Ooh, close. Yeah, that's a bit of a close approach. But you can see instantly Boars Divine having that big mid control, and now they're also taking the neutral objective. You forced out 2 flickers. One from the roam.
Oh, Pinku just got obliterated next to him. Radical feminist next to her. Radical feminist being popped as well, right? And now Naki-kun trying to play it out, but she cannot really do anything because she will get popped too. Kang Kana with a double, and 3-0 for Boars Divine. Already 2,000 gold.
That's a big one now. You already know that Boars Divine have got a very solid scaling composition, and if they keep on stealing away that early game as well, Crimson Onyx will not have anything left apart from just relying on Pinku for that damage in the late game.
Kishi getting caught off. AOG on top of their heads, but it was the enemy. AOG Radical Feminist will get popped just like that. And now Antichrist needs to run for his life. So far, the Sylvana not working out yet.
This is the tough part about Sylvana, right? You need that mid control. You need the map space. You want to be the one sitting inside those bushes, ready to land the Imperial Justice. And if anything, up top.
When you see 3DM using Flicker defensively on the, at least on the team comp that's on the time clock and needs to make plays happen, this is not looking good.
Mid.
Naki-kun forcing Lunox ultimate. Iframes will keep him alright from the burst, and so far Nolan not really that useful.
I mean, again, here's the big thing about Nolan. Whenever you're playing game, you want that early game, you want that snowball. But we haven't seen anything like of an invade coming.
Fight on the top side, he's getting taunted up, and his early game will be even worse, because he barely survived. Alice will keep him alive, using actually the first spell to survive. Quite great play, even in this very deadly scenario.
And in a space where Crimson Onyx need to play it a bit aggressive, yeah, they're losing their own buff, and that is a problem. Because it's the same idea with both Fredrin as well as the Nolan. You want to farm up quick, and you want to have an advantage against the enemy jungler, and then you want to snowball. But that ain't happening for the side of blue right now.
Also, definitely one more thing to consider, and that is that the Radical Feminist, she is falling behind. And Naki-kun will try. Nah, he is not successful. There's Kishikase, and Radical Feminist hopping in for 3 targets and actually making it turn around, but sacrificing her teammate in the process. because unfortunately Ruby has been dealt with, and that's another death for Crimson Onyx. But I like the fighting spirit. They are fighting back. They are trying to find the angles, and on the top side, they are actually stealing away the orange buff. Great
Yeah,
macro, great cross mob. I have to give credit for that.
that cross map is something that might help them stay alive for the next couple of minutes as well. But if they fight for the next turtle and they lose that one too, yeah, this game could probably be called off as well, because Boars might well have insane scaling on Kissel as well as Kang. We both know that Lunox and Carry in the late game, yeah, good luck trying to deal with them. We've got the first few items as well, and I kind of want to have a look. Hold on, look at mid.
Mid lane is looking pretty deadly this time of the year. Ready, Confinement will get popped, and right now even the dive being successful on Pinku. Oh, both of them are falling into the tusks of Boars Divine. They are chomping them up.
I really like the way how you just said letting roll behind into the tusk. That's a nice way to there. Oh my god, look at them. Look at their positioning. They're just controlling so much of the map. And Naki, she ain't surviving that one. Now, this is the big problem. Even though Uranus and Alice is a pretty boring matchup, Uranus cleaning out the way faster is helping her team to hop in the fight.
Further airstrike right now, everyone's hopping in, but 3M decided to hop out. Ready, Confinement maybe staying a little bit too long. Oh, luckily, Tal was able to dodge out of harm's way from Kishi Kasei. Oh my lord, that was close.
That indeed was, but again, if things continue like this, it is going to be way too problematic for your entire team. So that is something you'd have to deal with. Boars Divine, they're the ones who are controlling the map. AOG
catching 3M, but I don't know if you quite want to catch that. This is quite tanky, Alice, and now Antichrist is getting popped. But there is Kishi Kasei ready to take the Rumble into his own hands. 3M getting popped, mega kill for Kishi, and he will dive for this Ruby. Ruby, run, because there are wolves around you. Can she keep alive? Well, maybe Pinku will not be kept alive, but Ruby, she will be dealt with. So this was an unsuccessful 4v1. Yeah, really not much she could have done here. This game looks like it's firmly in the hands of Boars Divine. But maybe Naki has something to do about it. Did she get it?
Yeah.
Nah, she did not. Nah, she did not. And there's Kishi Kasei. Oh, he's getting caught. That's great. But shutdown goes to Feminist. I'm not sure if you want it in the hands of Savannah. Of course, it's better than to not have it at all. But there are targets that would use it a little bit more, but at the same time, it's not the tanky Sylvana that I thought it is, it's damage Sylvana, so actually, not that bad.
Exactly. You've got that lethal ignition on her as well, so you kind of knew that she's going into that damage route. Now, all because of that, you've already got Sharp buying up the Athena shield as well, so a ton of frontline, considering the maximum damage output is going to be from the Sylvana as well as the Farsa. That's something that's going to help you sustain quite a lot. We're seeing Kang going for that Ruby DD combination, but hold on a second. Do you want to engage on Ciora? Yeah, I thought so too. She is pretty beefy. Especially full fracture combination, and she's not even lost half of her HP. I don't know what else do you want to call out farming?
So far, it looks like that Ciora has one mission in this game, and that's to be a menace. It looks like she read the handbook written by Laito himself, because this Uranus, he is in their faces.
Already got the dominance ice as well, along with the Oracle. You've got the Silence Throw for extra bit of magic defense. The only thing that she's missing is definitely the anti-cuirass, or maybe just the Dreadnought armor at least, to make sure that neither the Ruby nor the Nolan are going to deal any kind of damage to you. So that's one part about it as well. Boars Divine securing that Lord. Top inhibitor already opened up. You've still got the Holy Shield, and they will be up.
They found him. They found the Nolan on the bottom side. Now he has to run for his life. He's trying to dodge out of harm's way. He's kiting around, but it's not enough. Killing spree for Lunox. She sniffed him. She sniffed him in the bush.
That's the big play. Nolan just wanted to clear out that bottom lane to make sure that they don't have 3 lane pressure on their faces. But yeah, tier 2 bot, it's falling down. The minions are perfectly synced for the top lane as well as the bot lane, and now they're gonna clear the mid too. It it couldn't be worse for Crimson Onyx right now.
Yeah, Crimson Onyx, they need to pop their buttons at the right time. Uh, Probably around their mid lane tower or maybe the top lane one. They need to pop their buttons, try to find a comeback play. Maybe they will try to do so, but right now this fight doesn't look that good. AOG for the backline, so it's getting ripped apart. And now the front line's being left alone. But
Whoa!
engage from Boars Divine, mega kill. They can 5 minutes being able to pop at least one double kill, and they are waving through. They are going for more kills. Nakikun trying to defend his base, her base. I don't know if the base will stay alive though. New minion wave has been spawned, so maybe for now, maybe for a bit. Nakikun, can she defend? No, she is dead. She cannot even defend her own life. And this first game goes into the tusks of Boars Divine.
Big play over towards the end. First picking off that Nolan and then sinking all the 3 waves perfectly. And then at the end of that, you just march down from the top side. You saw the idea. The Gato was trying to do the exact same thing that the Alice was doing for the side of Crimson Onyx. But that initial burst from Carry and Lunox combined, that late game was entirely in the hands of Boars Divine. And they also were able to control the pace in that early game. So a massive performance from their roster. And it's not just them, right? Boars Queens have played the similar way. Boars Esports have been playing in the same way. Boars Divine as well, the third roster of this entire franchisee, is doing the exact same thing. So you know the competition is pretty high when it comes to anyone who's got Boars in their title.
They are taking it by storm. It looks like Boars Gaming themselves were coaching them, probably, because I saw this gameplay somewhere, you know, like it's kind of familiar what they are doing.
I see what you're talking about, and yeah, I kind of agree as well with you on the same point. That does seem same out here though. Again, I think so. Crimson Onyx, they kind of need to go back into their own books, right? They really have to just deep down into the draft itself. That's one of the big things which I'm thinking right now. It's because it's not just the gameplay where they kind of lagged. It was the draft. They only had one damage source, and that was the Farsa's Feathered Airstrike. And if you use it up early on, now you don't have anything for that sustained DPS to probably give you advantage in that fight, wherein a carry with the speedy light wheels can instantly burst down your own front line. So I think so having something else, maybe a comfort pick like Bruno could have helped out. Harith, I still feel would have been a tough choice considering there's a Fredrin as well as a Uranus there, and you need someone who can deal that HP based damage. Since Claude was banned out, what could they have gone for? No, that's something interesting in the gold lane. Maybe an Irithel could have been better than a Ruby.
Yeah, maybe. Well, the thing is that Ruby didn't have her time to shine. She didn't really do any crazy plays. She didn't really utilize her kit, which wasn't necessarily her fault. It was kind of that the whole game fell apart right from the start, because we mentioned the first wave, it should have been there. Sylvana, you have this super aggressive roamer that's kind of off meta, but she packs a lot of punch. It's something similar that we would see with Guinevere roam, with Cho roam, with Kalia roam, those kind of heroes. So you want to use it, but they were not first in mid lane. They didn't have the first mid lane prio, and then it kind of turmoiled from that. But yes, as you mentioned, the draft could have been a little bit better. But I have to say, even with this draft, I feel like we didn't really see them play to the strengths of the draft. MVP, Lixie, absolutely deserved. She was a menace. As I said, she was a menace.
True, I agree. And that is one of the big things as well. Just making sure that she's doing her job in the entire game. That's something which we always talk about, right? Which we always discuss. Here's one of those big things. You look at the entire roster of Boars Divine, you know that there are power pack players, especially when we talk about Kisel. Into that gold lane, yeah, there are only a few things you'd be able to do against her. And that is, first of all, do not give her comfort picks. And with the way how she played in that previous one, that's also something you'd have to figure out into the next draft itself to not let her play on that comfort. Kashap
Oh,
being the first one with
we had some
look at
technical
that game again.
difficulties over here, right? Scared. We have to fix that because I said the MVP goes to Lixia, but it's actually Kaksap. Yes, as you rightfully mentioned, I was feeling like that wasn't the right name from what I saw in the game.
Yeah,
Now it's all fixed. Now it's all correct.
it's all fine. It's happens to the best of us as well, so it's all right. But yeah, again, coming back to the very same point here. Whenever we talk about it, pretty solid performance. Kakshap, one kill, one death, and 11 assists. That's exactly what you want from your roamer as well. Building onto the divine glaive, rather the dominant size into the Athena shield as well, making sure that she's frontlining all of that burst damage. And that too, when you know that Sylvana is also going the damage that Athena shield adds onto that defensive layer now. One thing though I normally think is something maybe she could have gone in for a Radiant Armor too, considering there are three magic damage dealers, the Alice as well as the Sylvana and then the Farsa, so that defense stacks up. But considering that there is also that burst from the Feathered Airstrike, you'd rather have something that instantly gives you that magic damage reduction on the other side. Let's have a look at the rosters of Boars Divine one more time. Kang, Kishi, Kishap, Siora, and Kisel. All of these ladies just ready to take on in the second game and win it all. While we also have the roster of Crimson Onyx, Warren.
Oh, we absolutely do. Naki Kun, Radical Feminist, 3M, Tal, Tone, and Pinku. The first game didn't really go their way, but the second could be a different story. We will see. All right, we already have the bands. They look exactly like the old bands, right? I don't think those are the bands we have. So stay with us. The bands should be new. Don't worry. But Crimson Onyx, they, as we were talking about it before, they definitely need to have a comp. That's one thing, but they need to play the comp. They didn't play the comp. They didn't play into the strengths of the comp, and that was the biggest detriment. We didn't really get into position where we could say, "Oh, this team comp wasn't good. This team comp should have been different." And yes, as you said, yes, Sylvana off meta and
Mm-hmm.
yada yada yada, all that. But at the same time, they didn't really do the thing they were supposed to. So even with
Yeah,
any other comp, if they were not playing to their strengths, it wouldn't help. So they need to
true.
kind of tell themselves after the draft, all right, that's our team comp, that's how we want to play it, and play exactly like that.
Yeah, I think so. That's something they definitely have to work around with right now. I do like the Ascension and Eve ban. The few things being changed as soon as you hop in over towards the blue side. That's pretty good. Jushin, Leomord. They're sticking with that Leomord ban. Jushin, whenever you're on that red side, that is one of the most default bans here. Now here comes the interesting part. Most of the times we have seen the Sora, or rather the Valentina, being banned out in the next banning phases. So that is something which I want to see if Boars Divine would follow into that similar trend, or will they do something entirely different here? We'll see. We'll see. Freya, understandable. Don't really want to pick it. Do not want to let the other side take that one. Baxia or East Sunshin. Or maybe even a Farsa. Or rather, not Farsa, Yujong.
Frog.
They kind of missed the ban. Interesting.
Oh, they did, right? Yeah, there
Yeah,
is
they
there
did.
is one band missing. I guess it wasn't in time. Honestly, I have to say, like this will be a little bit of a story time, like 10 second story time, right? But
Go for it.
I'm always like, how can you miss a ban? But you know, a week ago I played the tournament. Honestly, we played without a retry, so a lot stuff can happen. A lot stuff can happen under pressure. So let's not give
Were you the
shade.
jungler?
What?
Were you the jungler?
Nah, nah, nah. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. But we didn't have retry. We lost, obviously, because
Understandable.
our jungler was like level 3 and there was level 9. All right, let's move back. Let's move back. That was just a small anecdote for you to laugh on. And right now, let's focus on. Let's focus on. Leslie,
Sora.
she can deal a lot of damage into tanky targets, so I kind of see why you would pick her into Grog. Because yes,
Hmm.
she is not like Kari where she has percentage HP damage, but the true damage really helps into tanks because a lot of their defenses is not just the HP, but the effective HP through the defensive stats. So Leslie can shred through that, can be pretty deadly. And together with Naki-kun, you have Fredrin. So this ultra true damage combo, if it hits someone, damn, good luck surviving.
Here's the thing though. As much as I do understand that Leslie against the Grok can deal that true damage, right? But until and unless you've got the Berserker's Fury into the BOD and Malefic Gun, yeah, none of that is showing up. You need the Malefic Gun for the range, you need the Berserker's Fury for the crit chance, and you need that Blade of Despair and Berserker's Fury combined for that extra burst damage. Though I still want to see if teams like to build on towards the Sky Piercer here or not. That's again my personal build. That's what I normally go with. But again, that's an entirely different story. I normally like to go with the BOD without the boots and then go into the boots, and then considering the situation of the match, if you're falling behind, I go with the Sky Piercer because it's a cheap item. If you're far ahead in the game, I simply go for the Berserker's Fury for that extra bit of burst. But the Estes is something that now I want to focus on, considering you've got the Sora on the other side and you've got the shifting skies into the torrent mode. That could be big. Tectonic charge could be big. Fell there strike could be bigger.
Yes, yes. I just wanted to mention something similar where Boars Divine, and not just Boars Divine, also Crimson Onyx, other than the Estes, they are kind of gearing up towards very explosive, very fast team fights. Those fights won't last for long. So this Estes, sure, he can heal, but Estes is the happiest when the fights are prolonged, when they take some time, usually against Curry or with Curry against Claude. Then you have Uranus in front and they don't really have that much burst. They have DPS, he's tanking it all up. That's the team comp where you want to have him. But right now, I don't know if he really fits the bill. But honestly, I'm open to being surprised. So I am ready to change my mind.
Lunox being banned out again. I don't think so. Crimson Onyx should go for any kind of late game comp apart from the
Tamus.
Leslie that they've already picked up. Interesting choice of bans, but again, for that EXP lane, I think you need someone who can actually
Ah,
disrupt
no,
the
no.
Farsa.
It's Etienne.
Fair, fair. Lunox and Zetian. And Thames
Oh,
has
but
just picked up for the EXP lane.
it is Tamus. It is Tamus for, and I just wanted to say I really like it because he and Astus, they can be a power couple. They can be super strong. Those two together, they can be a menace. Of course, yes, Boar's Divine Burst, all of that.
Hmm.
But if you have someone with Astus who thrives in those prolonged team fights, is definitely Tamus. So those two could maybe kind of make the fights their own. Oh, but Baxia, they forgot about him. Yes, yes, Scare, they did, and that could be very bad.
Baksha instantly gives you that anti-heal effect as well. You make that dominant sights, it's all GG's. I'm not just looking at that, I'm also looking at the Ixia. Yes, I understand immobile target, things are problematic, but that full barrage is just going to be insane on your entire team, considering you've got the Estes on your side and all of them would want to stick together. Now on the other side, you lock in the Lilia. That's an early burst of poke damage coming in from your side. Combine it with the Fredrin as well. You might have a decent early game, but the Baxia on the other side is going to pose a lot of problem. As soon as you try to catch him, Tortoise's position, and from behind, you will have the Feathered Airstrike. The only person who can try and hop on the face of Farsa is going to be the Thamus, but he needs that level for the bare minimum to even think of going in that backline, because if not, Sora is gonna shifting Sky Torrent mode, try to capture your Leslie and take this one home, ladies and gentlemen. We are hopping in to the land of Dawn. Second time for this evening, Boars Divine taking on Crimson Onyx.
Lovely set, but let's see how lovely the game will be. Tamus should be winning against Sora, especially in the early game before level 4. That's just given. Lastly, into Ixia, don't really know that much about that matchup, so scared. You might wanna share some knowledge?
Here's the big thing, right? Leslie up against the Ixia. It's a pretty, I would say, unique matchup there, considering both of them can actually poke each other out. It's gonna fall down to whoever tries to micromanage things well. If you're constantly headed in the bush and the Ixia hops in unaware, boom, you got the passive shot along with the skill one shot. Hold on a second.
Radical Feminist could be getting popped, but this Estes has much tougher survival instinct than that Sylvana last game had, or maybe more healing, because Revitalize has been popped, so that's what kept Radical Feminist alive. 3M, Defertation, Antichrist, you might want to think about leaving that bush.
Yeah, it's fine. They're just gonna hop back. That's the thing. And yeah, now coming back to that same matchup with the top side, right? With the Ixia, you've got the skill 1, skill 2 combination. If you land it on the Leslie, boom, you're just gonna poke the heck out of her. And then things are gonna get difficult. So more or less it should be an even matchup where both of them just clear out their minions, hop back in, nothing fancy. Down in the bottom though is where I'm more interested as we go again.
But 3M doesn't have her ultimate available yet. This Tamus is not at the beast he could be without the ult, but doesn't matter because there's Naki-kun who will finish the job.
Big bonk coming in from Naki. And that's exactly what you really needed from your own Fredrin as well. The only thing Ciora on the Sora can do is try and maybe delay Naki for a while, and she's gonna hop in.
Ooh, he just stole it. Bakshia, that little rascal,
Oh!
he got that, but Naki-kun will die as well. Ciora in the backline play, but Tamus getting bursted down. This is a big win for Boars Divine.
That's exactly what you didn't want if you were Crimson Onyx. A tough pill to swallow. As soon as Ciora turned into level 4, this was the ultimate I was talking about. The shifting skies into the torrent mode. And now just look at them. They're stealing away the jungle of Naki as well. And if you're on a Fredrin, you do not want that to happen. You don't want to be falling behind out there. Hold on, if I stop.
Nah. Everyone is fine, I think. Nothing to see here.
True, and Isel is now instantly hopping in with the crossbow as well. Gonna go in for that corrosion scythe. And you combine it with the feathered airstrike. Now you've got an area where you do not want to land whatsoever. Hold on.
Maybe Grog getting caught. The true damage could be very deadly. Grog will use Tectonic Charge offensive. Ooh, Flicker out of harm's way. Barely surviving 3M. She wants to finish the job, but doesn't look like it. Actually, crazy escape from Antichrist.
That's exactly what you need. Kashab instantly hopping out of the harm's way as well, using the tech charge in the direction where you know that you're going to get that knock up on a couple of targets, and then instantly popping away with a flicker. Big play, but still fight continues.
Ciora, don't do it! Don't do it! Ah, you crazy! You crazy, and to die for her actions. This was just too much disrespect, and now Naki-kun is there trying to dish out some damage. The two beefy tanks don't really do that much to him. There is Kangchana. Feather Strike still available. Looks like Crimson Onyx will need to run away, but this was a decent play, and it will come with a turtle on top of this cake.
I don't know if they've got enough fun to take this one. Again, on the other side, they will go and hop in to try and retake that, or at least go in for the contest. What a reset by Kashab. That is big.
Oh, Naki-kun got it. Nice red tree, but this Tectonic Charge will catch them
Whoa!
up, and Estes gets popped. Just like that, Naki-kun will get dealt with, and there's 3M popping Vengeance, but it's not a flicker, so she's not quite mobile. She will now get caught between a rock and a hard place, and she'll be dealt with.
1 for 3 in favor of Boars Divine. Even though they lost the turtle, they're absolutely okay with that. They don't really mind that. The only silver lining for Crimson Onyx right now is the fact that Leslie has not died yet. Feltone is still surviving. And I saw her not even going in for the boots, but instantly popping in for the Berserker's Fury. That means she should have that item.
Pinku
Whoa.
almost getting dealt with, but barely alive. That's the tricky part about dealing with this specific mid laner. The shoes resets the HP.
Yeah. That's one of the big problems which we always talk about. Farsa with the range, with the stun. Don't really want to deal with her. Up top, Feltone.
Deltoon and Naki-kun is there to initiate some action. Tectonic charge for the backline. Almost. Deltoon barely surviving. Naki-kun is in the thick of it. Can she slam them down? The true damage wasn't really connecting. Taunt going through. Still beefy frontliner. Antichrist needs to flicker out of harm's way. Taunt misses.
Yeah, again, you really need that anti-heal effect as well to hop in instantly and then combine all of that burst damage. You had all 5 people down bottom, but Ciora was not even in that fight. And that is a problem. You need that damage. If anything, you either need the full barrage to connect perfectly, or you need Ciora onto that Sora to constantly provide that chain CC and at least get those stuns in on point. Because a Feltone survived with the skin of her teeth, but still the fight continues.
Oh, jump in. 3M initiating. Sora trying to kind of shakes things up. 3M trying to chase, but a little bit too deep. There is no one for her team. Radical Feminist will get popped as well. And right now, Ciora barely surviving, but the fight went in the favor of Boars Divine because 3M went too deep. She wasn't supposed to go there. She should have stayed with the team.
Absolutely. Paid the price for that problem. And this is the big problem whenever we talk about a Thamus. There's not a lot of mobility, and then once you get chain CC'd, you're just out. There is no saving grace for you. Even though that there is going to be a burst heal with the Blessing of the Moon Goddess, but with that early dominance eyes as well as the Clawing Wand made on the other side, things are going to be problematic. And now with the Sky Piercer picked up in the hands of Kissel, she's probably got 10 stacks already and is now going in also for the Magic Sword to get that extra bit of shield if in case Pinku deals a little too much damage. That is big. See Halberd locked in as well from a Feltone. Interesting choice of items. Want to deal extra damage based on that HP, considering there's the Basha as well as the Grok on the other end. I like that idea.
We have a pause. So maybe some troubles on one of the sides can really give you more information that really is there on the screen, because we don't really have much more ourselves. Of course, we will update you if we will have something more. Oh, we are right back into action. Or is that a replay? No, I don't think that's a replay. This is live. Naki-kun already needing to return to survive. Kind of walking around. 3M tanking it through. Still half on that ultimate duration. But now she needs to run, and it's not enough because she will get popped. Double kill for Naki-kun. And now they are chasing for our Pinku. No more shoes for you, so you get popped. Unstoppable is the name of the game for Boars Divine, and they are taking this game by storm again.
That's again, you need the Lizzie to pop off. A Feltone right now with just the Sea Halberd and the Berserker's Fury does not really have enough damage to burst them down. You need a Malefic gun or at least a Blade of Despair to push them back. And this is the reason why I talked about, right? Even if you pick up a Leslie, you know that you need that ultra late game to just take the game for your team. And even in that scenario, if your positioning is not good, you will be getting caught. 3am has been having a lot of problems in terms of sustaining through that frontline burst. She's not even able to hop in towards Kissel. Hold on. Bottom.
Sora needing to use that flicker. So for this Lord fight, no crazy flicker plays from Ciora. She cannot do that. And possibly Queen's Wings have been popped as well. I'm not sure if the cooldown shows up on the scoreboard. Does it? Does it not? I'm not sure. Scared?
Individually, if you spectate onto Ciora, then it will. But hold on.
Ooh, this Feather Asteroid was absolutely gargantuous. But Radical Feminist pop in that Revitalize. So she should be able to continue to fight. Nakun going in. Naki-kun trying to fish for Kishikase, but not really the right target. The Little Wanderer is trying to be dealt with. Radical Feminist kind of lurking around. Leslie is there. Lord, the Lord dance. That's what we know. That's what we like. Kishikase fishing for... there is the face check, and now the fight could be starting. But Grok, not really the target you want to go for. But you are lacking damage if there is not the Leslie, and they are going for the Leslie, and they know that she can be dealt with, and when she is, there is not enough damage, but maybe there is, because Naki-kun is there in the front. The taunt is getting through, the true damage is getting stacked up, but I am not sure if it will be enough. 3M with the flag going in, separating Grok from the rest of the fight. 3M finishing the carry from the team, and Tsura getting popped as well. Lil, they are going in. Kishikase getting popped too, and it's just Grok and Forza running with their lives. Crimson Onyx with a victory in this fight, but not for long. Monster kill for Forza, and suddenly it's a retake from of Lord. Bird form, fly away, go get into the right position. 3M getting popped. No more ultimate available, so is she gonna be kept alive? Lord is deadly low. 3M able to finish it off, at least with the ultimate available. It just came off cooldown. Crimson Onyx with a breathtaking gameplay, nerve-wracking gameplay, because if you were not on the edge of the seat in the last 2 minutes, you're lying.
My oh my, that fight lasted longer than the lead of Boars Divine in this game right now. They still have a 4,000 gold lead here. And again, you can slowly see a Theltone's damage show up, but she has gone in for a Windtalker. And I don't really see a lot of burst coming in, at least on those beefy targets when you talk about... Hold on. Ciora? Yeah, she's gonna be okay. She's gonna be fine. Hopping back onto the same conversation here. That sustain coming in from Kishi and Kishap, it's actually pretty high. But again, the full barrage of Kisel needs to be paired up perfectly with a Feather Airstrike. Otherwise, the Blessing of the Moon Goddess will heal the rest of the team. And that is what's been happening time after time. They've got that ultra sustained healing combination with the black shoes coming in from Pinku. You've got the Coterance Inferno of 3M. And then you've also got the Blessing of the Moon Goddess. So that it is tough to deal with. And this Lord can be deadly.
Naki, oh, that sectoring charge and this initiation Feather Airstrike on their hats. Radical Feminist has been dealt with, and this could be the fight that could be taken home by Boars Divine, because they dealt with the right targets.
Exactly what I was talking about, right? They need to land in the full barrage along with the Feather Airstrike on time together, and they'd be able to take care of the rest of them. Now, having a look at the build as well, you've got the Genius Wand into the Lightning Truncheon. The backline is getting bursted instantly. They're not staying alive. So if you're Pinku or if you are a Theltone, you will have to play it careful. You've got the Malefic Gun, Hunter Strike as well, along with the Sky Piercer coming in for Kessel. I really want to see her add that Sea Halberd as well into the mix to burst down both Thamus as well as Fredrin with the extra damage based on their HP. That is going to help her out in that burst damage. Ciora again going in for that tanky route, exactly what you need. Radical Feminist on the other side is also trying to go in for that extra bit of sustain to make sure that she's able to frontline for a bit too. Couldn't really quite catch the items on the rest of them though, but both the teams now playing cross map. Crimson Onyx trying to clear the tier 2 over towards the top, while the bottom one has already been taken by Boars Divine, so a macro play coming in. But the far lane is still controlled by Crimson Onyx, and that could be a detrimental point in the next Lord fight.
Oh, this is so unlucky. If Crimson Onyx was able to build slow push on the top side, this could have been very deciding for this next Lord fight, but that's not what happened. It has been equalized. Naki-kun trying to taunt Ciora. That doesn't look like that much of a problem. They need to run away. There's Naki-kun initiating 1v5, and she already popped her ultimate. It's not available anymore, but maybe it comes off cooldown kinda quick, because Ciora will get popped. Even without the usage of the ultimate, there is still Thamus, pretty deadly. Ferrersa trying to separate the fight. Naki-kun 3M in the backline with the Vengeance being popped. Kenchana getting popped as well, and there's Ixia trying to change the tide of the battle. Pinku getting an absolute wipeout happening for Boars Divine. Maniac Savage, that's the name of the game, and Boars Divine take this home 2-0.
They take the fight and invite them into the trap, only for it to be unleashed in the form of Kissel with that Savage. Phenomenal play with that Sky Piercer stacked up as well. 9 more seconds for anyone who can clear the wave to hop back in. You've got a minion. But hold on.
It's not
Yeah, this should be it.
Nah,
It
it
should be.
is.
Yeah, it's all done. It's all done. They close it out right at the moment. Boars Divine winning out this series 2-0.
I mean, you could have said after the first game that Kissel wasn't really that important for the win, but this game, you cannot deny her being the most important member of the team for them
Yep.
to take it home. Because this last fight, this last Exia wipeout, single handedly basically, oof, the damage, I thought it's over. I thought that they got it. I thought Trium is in a perfect position, that she will clean it up. She had vengeance, she had ultimate, everything was going for her. But then Ixia happened, and damn, how the tables turned.
How the tables have turned. Big one. Again, the entire game, it was going back and forth, right? But it eventually came down to that extra bit of burst damage. Did not really have enough for the side of Leslie too, and this is exactly what I was talking about as well. You need that Blade of Despair to at least start hurting those tanky frontliners. Because here's the thing, yes, you have a ton of true damage, which doesn't really have that infinite scaling, right? You still scale based on your physical attack, and whenever you've got those tanky items on the other side, that directly affect your physical attack itself. So as soon as it gets lowered down, the amount of true damage that you can deal is also reduced. So even if you're trying, you have got the potential of dealing what, 2000 critical damage, it gets instantly reduced to somewhere around 1500, and sometimes even less than that, 1200, 1300. And that is where the problem with Leslie lies. You need those Sky Piercers stacked up. If it's not that, you need just raw damage on her, and it takes quite a lot of time to build up, while that is not really the case with Ixia. And here's the fun fact, if the Thamus is gone, there is no one left to dive onto the Farsa or the Ixia. You pick one target, the other one is going to be left free to just farm that Savage, and that's exactly what Kissel did.
Yeah, but at the same time, I want to give props to Crimson Onyx because they were able to pick themselves up after a very destructive defeat in the first game, and they were able to come back really, really strong, and they showed us a great game. Honestly, if that last fight didn't happen, this was a completely different story. We would be in the third game of this BO3, and we would be talking absolutely about different topics. But unfortunately, it happened. Kissel, absolutely gorgeous team fighting from her, and Boars Divine 2-0. And so far, if we look at the stats that are right under us, 2-0 for all the Boars squads. Damn. That's
The only thing the only thing that's actually keeping it all away is Boars Esports right now, because they've got their next game with Phantom, and we've yet to see how Phantom are actually going to perform out here. We already know the kind of strength that Boars Esports bring on the table. We did see their performance against Helicopters, not just in game number one, but also in the second game, where even if you can say that maybe there was a draft difference in game one, the second was a lot more dominating, a lot more commanding, even when the other side had a pretty decent draft. So that's something Phantom will have, you can say, something to work with based on the past experience of what happened there. But at the same time, we've been talking about what's going to happen in the next one. I want to bring our attention back to the Savage that we have right now. Kissel, Ixia, absolutely on point. 23,000 damage being dealt with the Corrosion Sight, Sky Piercer, Hunter Strike, adding onto the Malefic Gun as well before and finishing up that Wind of Nature. All of that worked out perfectly for her, as she was able to burst down everyone who was in front.
I think I think that the 23k has to be a lie. I mean, it cannot be the damage dealt because I'm betting my house that she did just that damage in that last fight alone.
Oh my god, I kind of agree. I kind of agree with that. I'm pretty sure it's going to be even higher there. But as we have a look at the stars of the match again, Kisel with the highest goal per minute, it's 11,500. That is insane. Pinku dealing the highest damage in the entire game, potentially with 73,000 onto that Lilia. I really like the Lilia pick. She was able to poke around a lot on that
Scared?
front line just to set things up for the rest of the people. Yeah, hop on.
Scared? I don't think it's gold per minute. If she had 11k per minute, I think the game would be over in like the second minute. I think it's game gold per match. I think it's gold
Gold
per
per match.
match.
Let's go.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah.
go
I
with that
don't
gold
think
per match. Yeah.
I don't think it's
Thank you for
gold
calling
per
me out on
minute
that.
because if she did that, she's either cheating or damn. I think Aurora PH that what M7 is already calling. They are in their they are in her DMs, man.
11,000 gold per minute. It's actually like when you hop into that custom and you want to try on a specific build on a specific hero and you tap for that extra 10,000 gold, 10,000 gold.
Yeah,
That's how you would eventually get that gold per minute thing. But that's again a pretty fun fact here. But on the other side of the spectrum, you have the Fredrin who soaked up a lot of damage, the most in the entire game, with the Grok being the assist queen. Pretty solid game from Boars Divine. You could clearly see that they had the full command over the game. They knew what they were trying to do. The entire lineup looked pretty stacked as well. With the Far Sixia combination, they knew what their win conditions were and they played around that. Crimson Onyx on the other end kind of lost the things in the draft itself. But now, since we're going to be focusing on Boars Esports as well as Phantom, that is something I really want to see how and where it is actually going to go, because Boars Esports might have a good competition here.
And talking about the competition, Involtino, Watasuker, Yatul, Inechu, and Melia. That's the lineup for Phantom, and that's the lineup that's still mysterious to us. We still don't know what they pack, how big of a punch they pack, and what can they do on the Island of Dawn. Because Boars Esports, we already kind of know.
Mm-hmm.
They showed us in the day before. Yes, here we have them. Scared. Take it on.
Tori, Luvia, Celia, Sona, Fumetsu. We saw all of these people play, and I would have to say, the one person who's going to be standing out in this entire roster is definitely going to be a Celia, because she knows how to play those damage EXP damage gold laners as well as the tanky gold laners as well. I remember, I'm pretty sure that she went in with that or rather the CC pick as well into that gold lane last time when she played out. So she's definitely the focus point, which I'm pretty sure Phantom would be having her eyes on to make sure that she doesn't get what she wants to do win the entire game, because once she does, things are going to be pretty problematic. So that Phantom will have to look forward to dealing with Iselia first and then the rest of the lineup. Most of it is still going to go down into the draft, Warren, because I'll just go through the draft of what we saw the girls
But before
of
the
Boars
draft,
play previously.
what's that,
Yeah.
Scared? What's that? Are we giving diamonds away? How can I get them, Scared? Can you tell me?
You know what? I'm not going to allow you to do that. I'm still going to tell you so that the people would know. And for all the people who are out there watching us, in order to get those 300 diamonds, make sure you type in the comment section, be active on the YouTube stream. That's all we require. One lucky winner is going to get 300 diamonds. And Warren, you are not allowed to do that. You are the one who is sitting here. It's all for the viewers. No.
I can't. I can't.
No, you can't.
How else do you think I'm ever gonna get all Lapu Lapu skins? If I cannot join the giveaways, come on, Scared.
Good luck. It's all good. That's all I'm gonna say. It's all good. All
Yeah,
right.
but
again,
yeah.
you can definitely hop it out in the comment section. It's
Oh, I
totally cool.
can.
For all the
Let's
people
go.
out there. Go for it. But yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure you're not gonna win it. It's all the other people who've been with us since
It's rigged.
the
It's
first
rigged.
second of this stream. No, we're just gonna remove your name. Oh my god. Out here, again having a look at the lineups, ladies and gentlemen, with a head-to-head of Phantom taking on Boars Esports. I kind of wanted to talk about the draft of what Boars Esports like to go forward with, since what they went for previously is something that they prioritize the Leo mod jug. With the Kimmy into the mid as well, they like to experiment a lot. And Phantom, since they are on the blue side, will have the opportunity to dictate the draft while Boars Esports answer. But if they've done their homework, they would know that Boars Esports, they like to prioritize that Leo mod. So I really want to see him banned out.
Yeah, definitely. He was also banned out in the last series, at least one of the games. One of the games he was played, and he wasn't successful enough because he was in the hands of Onyx, and it wasn't.
Yeah.
It didn't end up in a dub. So, unfortunately for them, even with that strong pick, didn't work out. But with Boars Gaming, we already know that they are very, very strong. So this Leomord could be a deadly
Hmm.
weapon in their hands. We will see if Phantom did their homework, or maybe if they will go for a Leomord themselves. That's definitely an idea they could have. Maybe the first pick is kind of tricky going Leomord first pick. Yeah, not maybe too much cooking. But right now they are definitely thinking it through. Scared, give me one hero that you think will be in the bans if it will not be Leomord. One hero other than
Jushin.
Leomord who will definitely be banned for the side
I
of
said Jushin.
Phantom. You would say Juxian?
Jushin.
Nah, all right, all right.
She's the first man actually. I did not figure that out. Yeah,
You
again,
have the
apart
script.
from the Jushin, I you know what? I just leaked the information right before it's about to happen. But here's the thing. I kind of feel that there's going to be the Freya ban as well. If Phantom don't really want to pick her, maybe just ban her out entirely. And on the other end of the spectrum, considering it's a Jushin first ban, I think so now Boars Esports would be able to dictate the draft, because now they have that one extra ban slot remaining, which normally is fixed for a Jushin if you're on the red side.
Yeah, they are kind of untying their hands. So either Phantom have some tactic and they are doing it on purpose, because I actually heard an opinion that Yves could struggle with Juxin. I always thought the opposite. I always felt like Yves outranges, but maybe that's the idea. Maybe they are thinking about it like that. Because there's one thing: if Yves gets face checked, I mean not face checked, but if she face checks Juxin, she cannot really do much. So there is definitely death power in her arsenal. Those 1v1s,
True.
Juxin pretty deadly in, but she won't be having any, at least in this game. Croc being gone, Zetian already. What are we thinking for the second ban? Gatot, is he that deadly? I don't know. He kinda left the
Hmm.
meta. Like he's still there hanging around, but he's not in the front rows anymore. From what we saw
I'm not
today,
seeing
from
it
what we
like
saw
that.
today, I'm just saying, from what we saw today, they are not really picking him that hard.
No, I'm not even talking about that, because I totally understand you. Gato is basically like a counter for Kalia. Kalia is a counter for Gato. These two people go hand in hand, just on the different routes, right? Right, the yin and yang. But what my focus is on is that Carmilla ban by Boars Esports, because that
Oh damn,
is
you are
weird.
right.
Yeah, that's I think so. That's the second most unique thing that I saw apart from the tattoo on your hand.
All right, all right. Well, Carmilla is definitely the more
I
important
couldn't
thing that
ignore it.
you saw uh, when we are talking about this series. Uh,
Hmm.
and also with Melissa. Melissa is gone too. So those two kind of interesting bands you don't really see that often. Is Pelpatronio playing
Hmm.
on the Phantom side? Like, is he there somewhere? Did I miss him? Like, why is there a Melissa band? What's going on?
Maybe just a respect ban for an issue in its shoe. I hope I'm taking that name correctly. But oh, hold on a second. One ban was left up by Phantom, and the Freya was left open as well. So they've instantly prioritized her. Now, normally we do see that Freya being banned out, but Boars banning out the Melissa, yeah, that kind of left the room open for her. Hmm. Do you go for an early Phoveus or an Esmeralda, or you hold it down till the second part of your first phase of picking, right? Maybe the third pick. Do you hold that phobias? You know what?
It's Sora.
It's not coming. Exactly.
And the thing is, do we know where Freya? Like she's going God lane, right? That's the spot that she will. Ooh, Leo Moore being locked in for Boars Esports because he has been left open, absolutely free for the taking. Maybe Phantom wanted him as the third ban, but that didn't really happen.
Hmm.
So Boars Gaming are like, all right, give me that. They will go for that freely. So they have two very strong powerhouses right now in the meta. Leomord even a little bit more so than Sora. And for Phantom, they need to answer. And Valentina mid lane could be one of them.
Maybe even the EXP if they really want to put it right. I don't. I would not go against it. It's totally fine. You just go for that extra bit of crowd control in your roam position. Maybe probably Agato since the Grok is banned out. Something along the similar lines. If really you want to go in for some kind of pick off, you can also go in for a Kaja if you want to stop the dashes of
All
the other
right.
side. Yeah, there's an Esmeralda to be picked up along with the Valir.
Valir, yeah. That's the part I'm surprised about because there's one thing.
Hmm.
From what I played, Valir, he like I know he is not played, but he deals a lot of damage. So if you are able to maneuver around, not get caught, and you are throwing those fire, you are hitting those fireballs. That's the important part. Well, then
Exactly.
your opponents have a lot of trouble. And with Freya, with Esmeralda, there is a lot of fighting happening. And if you're fighting with those skirmishers, with those brawlers, you don't really have time to look behind if Valir is throwing his
Hmm.
fireballs. So I kind of like the idea of Phantom, even though it's not really the standard approach.
You need something that can help Valir clear out the mid wave. Apart from that, yeah, he ain't rotating. There's a Kimmy on the other side already. With the Kimmy, Sora, and Leomord opening big boards, Esports already have a big advantage in this draft. Phantom, with them locking in the Esmeralda, is basically a pick to deny that gold lane potential pick in the hands of a Celia that can instantly counter the Freya. The next few bans again, since you've got the jungler EXP and mid locked in for both of these teams, every single ban that you now go forward with is also going to reduce your own hero pool. So, Minotaur, alright, that's the disengage tool banned out by Boars Esports. I like that.
Yes, I agree with what you mentioned. They will shoot their own hero pool as well, but at the same time, they are the first to pick in the second part. So they can kind of prepare it for themselves. And from what we are seeing, they might be thinking about that wrong pickup because Brock is gone, Mino is gone. So what's left there really? Gatot?
Hmm.
But I'm not sure if Gatot is the way against what Phantom has. Isn't I
Boars
feel
can
like
actually go for the Gato.
oh, yeah, but that's what I meant. I'm not sure if Gatot is good for Boars against what Phantom has, or do you see the angle
Hmm.
for him? Because honestly,
I,
looking at it, I think Hylos would have much more synergy and be
true.
much better against what Phantom has because there is a lot of running happening for Phantom. They will be running around a
Yeah.
lot. Oh, yeah. Well,
You
yeah.
see now.
Forget that.
You see now why I laughed for a second. Alright, that as soon as you mention him, yeah, it's a pretty good pick, and then Boars decide to ban him out himself. So yeah, that's one more thing. I still am not quite sure about the glue ban though from Phantom, considering you've already logged in the EXP. Maybe a glue room is what they did not want to see, so they've just banned it out. I don't
May-
know if Sona plays the glue room though.
maybe they were in my ranked games. I had a couple of glues against me, glue roams. Not really that good. So probably they were not in my ranked games because then they would not ban him. But yeah, might be. In the meantime, when you get the stats, I have to talk about that Bruno
Hmm.
ban because Bruno is off the board. So that
Yeah.
early game gold lane pressure not available to Boars Esports. And it kind of makes sense because Boars Esports, they already have so much mid lane pressure. And if you would give them even gold lane pressure, then they are winning
Mm-hmm.
two-thirds of the map already. Of course, XP lane Sora will play defensively. He will wait for his ultimate that's given. But if they are winning the other two-thirds of the map, that would be bad for you.
the reason why they've actually banned out the Bruno is also because the Celia picked it up in the last series in that second game. It's one of her comfort picks as well. So I do like the idea. As you said, they've done their homework along with a lot of pressure being added onto that lane. I still feel that a Claude or a carry would actually be a bigger problem for Phantom. With the Silda lock-in, you can actually pick up a Claude. You've got three people who will be diving on the other side. You've already got that early to mid game presence with the Kimmy in that mid lane alongside with the River, and then you can hop in with a Claude to instantly burst them all down. Now, with this Kaja, bring out a Beatrix. Otherwise, bring a Beatrix or a carry for Phantom. Otherwise, I don't see this Kaja working.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. You don't really pack that much of a punch. All right, Hanabi. So they were definitely preparing because they knew you would be casting and they knew they need to make you happy. So they went for the Hanabi. Of course, people watching might not know, but his most favorite hero is that of Hanabi. So yeah, scared. I
She's my
think they were
waifu,
ready
alright.
for it.
She's my waifu. She's my waifu. That's all. Yeah, I do enjoy playing Hanabi, but I understand that in terms of competitive play, she's not the best pick. Please do not bully me. Please do not bully Inechu there as well. We've seen Hanabi Lolita combinations in international plays as well. Alright, so
That's true.
she's not entirely out of the board. Plus, considering that ages as well as the shield that she gets from a skill 1, all of that combined, I think so she could work. And given the fact that Granger has been nerfed in that gold lane, Celia might not have that easy time in the gold against Hanabi of an issue. So I really want to see how it's gonna work out. But for now, I think so Boars Esports have won the draft.
I think the problem with the draft is that for Phantom, they didn't choose the wisest, I feel like, because correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe Carrie was still open, and as you mentioned before, Beatrix was still open as well. So that
Claude.
could pack that could pack much bigger punch than Hanabi has. Don't get me wrong. She's still there's trades happening, but there is big rotation coming from Involtino. Freya already trying to release some pressure from the mid lane. But that's exactly what we said. If you pair Valir with someone who cannot immobilize going on Involtino, but he goes in, I mean she goes in, and doesn't get the lethal wonder, unfortunately. But back to the topic, you don't have pressure on mid lane. And Sora, he's cutting on you? Damn, Illuvia is crazy.
It is tough, man. I'll have to say, yeah, I agree. This is not something we really kind of expected to happen, but that is an early bit of pressure, which I did not see happening here. Still, considering it's a 0-0, that should be good for Phantom, but Boars are constantly applying that pressure into the jungle as well.
And Tori, she is just... Oh, did she get it? Nah, I don't think she did, but just that constant pressure, you have it in the back of your head. It's so annoying, this constant pressure, it's the chronic stress. You cannot relieve yourself, you cannot relax because they are always in your jungle. Getting what can they get? 5 seconds for the turtle.
Yet early also is just level 3 right now. And that is Virala not hitting that level 4 might actually be the make or break in towards this turtle fight. Mid has been cleared. Boars Esports have all the advantage for this one.
Kaja no level 4, so she's basically useless. First blooded for Creator. And now Involtino trying to change the tide of battle. This Freya, she is deadly, but not deadly enough for a 1v4. That was a little bit too hasty. Involtino, a little bit too deep, and Boars Gaming take this turtle. And I have to give a shout out, before I give it to you, to Illuvia. Her early game was magnificent.
Exactly what I talked about as well into that EXP lane. And now they're also going in for those invades. Yeah, good luck with Volting to try and now catch up to the level of the Leo mod there. We might see another pokey fight, but it's fine. Having a look at the first few items, instantly going into the Swift boots in issue. I'm pretty sure that she's going in for that Trinity there.
Oh, Illuvia with that 1v1 going for Yatuil. The dashes are here and ultimate for the finish. Yatuil, she cannot even walk in her own jungle.
The Gomu Gomu no Gatling gun on her face. Instant. And there we go, Phantom Steed.
Fumetsu forcing their flickers, and this Valier for the next 2 minutes, he will be pretty easy to pick off. Yes, he has the ball and his ultimate gives him movement speed, but without the flicker, keeping himself out of harm's way is kinda tough, and right now Xona is definitely making sure that the rest of Phantom feel her axe.
It is going to be problematic. You do have the Valier to poke down that Hilda, but again, she can just instantly heal back up as soon as she walks in the bushes. And now look at their positioning. They've divided the bottom lane into two different halves for the entire team. You've got Milia over towards the tier
Freya
2,
top
while the
side.
rest of the members were
Do we
in the
want
tier 1.
Ranger?
Yeah,
I'm
look at
not
top.
sure if he can survive. Oh, he can, but with a use of flicker. But with Freya showing topside, with Freya ulting, she's getting caught. She is getting caught. She jumped. I don't know if she has dashes. Nah,
Nope.
she's not getting out of this one. She has been slain. Involtino is dead on the floor, and Boars Esports are taking everything they want.
Instantly bursting her down, realizing that she's got no dash left, no sacred orbs to use down that skill too. Finishing them off in style, and all 5 players now playing in together. You can clearly see that domination hopping in. The only good thing for Phantom is that Inishu has not died yet on that Hanabi, but you really need her to farm as quickly as possible so that she could get those early items, which
Illuvia.
is not happening.
Illuvia, she is going for the backline, applying the constant pressure, and just when you think you are safe, because Illuvia is out of the fight, she uses her, oh no, killing spree. Illuvia will pick you off, even from under your own tower.
That Gatling gun has been pretty big. That's all I'm gonna say. Yeah, I know that you're not a One Piece fan, but Warren, you should really start
No,
watching
I
One
get
Piece.
it, I get it. I actually watched the Netflix remake. It was good.
Alright.
But right now,
hold on.
suppression is not really the thing you want to be seen on your roamer. But it's Zelda, she's quite tough, she can take that. Fumetsu, no more cash ultimate available. Now Leomord taking the charge. And big ultimate on Sora. She will pull them back in. Involtino, what a sucker! 2 targets being dealt with, and the onslaught continues with the bangs from Neymar Jr., which is just shooting a shot after shot. And this is a Granger that has not been dealt with. This is a Granger that is stacking her Scarpiecer, and this is a Granger that could be a problem, even if you are able to deal with Illuvia.
6 minutes in, level 10 probably gonna be hit by Famitsu there. You already have the Voraxen with the Ares belt, so she's going at a bit of tanky route, but there you go again.
I mean, nothing's gonna happen. This guy just ulted Leomord alone under the tower. I don't believe Leomord even had the aggro of the tower. So this was just unfortunate. Watasuker trying to make a play happen, but not really being coordinated with the rest of the team. And I get it. This has to be very stressful situation. Honestly, this game is in such a dire state that you should be thinking about the tactic for the second draft.
I wish I was a bit tactical in terms of my computer and coding knowledge to understand what Vaticoca.exe means. But it's fine. All I need to focus on is the bot fight.
Ooh, but the bot fight will be over before you can even peep your peeps on it, because it has been dealt with. 5 seconds, that's all it took to deal with Involtino, to deal with Watasuker, and retreat.
And these are two of the frontliners. Apart from the Esmeralda. You don't have anyone else who can soak up the damage, and even they cannot soak up any kind of damage. That is the amount of burst, and this is the strength of a Sora. With the brute force breastplate built upon Famitsu, she's gonna be even more tanky.
Queen Wings.
And having a look at the items, yeah, Queen's Wings have already been picked up. We've got concentrated energy along with the glowing wand for Tori. She's gonna be healing all the way back up. Just a Fury Hammer, Black Eye Shield, and a Silence Robe. Now you have enough physical defense. Once you're in between 4 to 5 people, you've got a good amount of damage with a Fury Hammer, with a decent bit of penetration, and then you add in on the Silence Robe along with another magic defense items. Hold on.
Yo, this ultimate in the backline, pulling two back in there. What a super hit and popped off as well as Melia. This lady just keeps on giving. Illuvia is illuminating this game for me.
Illuvia is just insane. As soon as you've got that flicker up, you know that Shifting Sky Torrent mode is hopping in online with that flicker, and she's instantly giving 3 to 4 man setup. And as long as Sora will have this kind of surprise, Sora will always be in the meta for the EXP lane. Could also end up becoming just a niche pick there, but will still be there. Celia picking up that Blade of Despair will have a ton of burst. She's already going 402, and I'm pretty sure she's got some 30 Sky Piercer stacks. If anything, I do want to have a look at that too. Level 13.
I think actually 40 maybe. I think actually 40 because she bought the Sky Piercer before she was 101, so I think she could be at 40.
Could be possible though, yeah, I kind of agree. I also want to have a look at the items of Inishu. Starting ones, level 10. I think so that's still fair considering the amount of farm that is being stolen away from Phantom. She's doing a pretty decent job onto that Hanabi. But here's the fun thing. And this is me just being nerdy about Hanabi. I'm going to talk about it in a while.
I think it's kind of risky to talk about it now, but try to go for it when we have some peace. Oh, but we don't have peace right now because there is suppression coming through. Xona almost getting picked up, but still, it's just a Hilda. Yes, you force their flicker. That's great. But is it enough? Is it enough? I don't think so, because look at her HP bar. She's back to full HP almost, and Lord is marching on the bottom.
There's still a cannon minion left up top as well, so Yatuele will have to deal with it before she can hop towards the bottom lane. The good thing, you forced out the Phantom Steed, so it will not be available for this Lord when it's marching down to the bottom lane. It should be cleared up.
But will it be cleared up now?
Oh!
Not soon enough, because Sora with initiation into the backline. She picks them off. 1, 2, make it 3. If you get Yatul, I'm not sure if you can, but if you get the base, you don't even care. Yatul gets picked off. Double kill, and this is a base on top of that.
That is the reason why I always say you cannot go for your comfort picks whenever it comes down to Boars Esports. Impeccable performance, especially with Lubia onto that Sora. The flicker shifting skies into the torrent form, impeccable. You have that flicker up, you know that she's going to be on top of you, regardless of the position that you have. And all of the people sticking together just to clear out that Lord, that was her perfect engagement, instantly hopping in as the first engage and then rest of the team following up. This is the reason why I talked about that Phantom need a little bit of the anti-dive considering everything that Boars Esports have. They just executed their draft to perfection.
Yes, yes. That was a big topic of the last series that we had. I was saying that Onyx in the first game, they didn't really play to their draft strengths. In the second, they did, and they put on a good show. Boars Esports, this is how you play to your draft's strengths. They knew that Sora will find the angles when she has flicker, she will use it, she will find the angle, and everyone will follow through. That's exactly what happened. Everyone was on point, the synergy was there. Absolutely gorgeous.
Picture perfect is all I'm going to say. And I think so with this, maybe the Boars' flawless scoreline is going to remain. Phantom really need to drop on off the comfort pick draft is all I'll have to say. Freya into the jungle is something that we don't really see a lot, but here's the thing, yeah, you can actually hop into that jungle to instantly clear it out with the skill 2 with the basic attacks. It is fine, but as soon as it comes down to the fight, you need something that can dive with her on the enemy backline and not worry about what's happening in your own. This is one of the reasons why even in the gold lane Freya can work, but you need to have something that can dive before her so that she's not the one taking the aggro of the enemy, because you need 3 damage items and then you can potentially go in for a sustain, maybe a utility. So that's one of those big pointers about Freya. This time, you didn't have anyone. You had a Kaja who can actually pick the people off, suppress them, but you then did not have anyone who can burst them down instantly. Even on the Golden, you went with a Hanabi who requires the basic trinity and at least 2 people in front of her to deal out the maximum amount of damage. And since that draft did not synergize well with your picks, it ended up being an entire game where it was a smooth sailing for Boars Esports.
Yeah, absolutely. The river was calm this time of the day. They were, yeah, smooth sailing, as you said, like just went in their sails, and they just went for the One Piece.
You know what?
Tori,
I'm gonna give you one.
hmm?
I'm gonna give you one fun fact about One Piece after having a word about Tori.
After we
That
give
Kimi
shout out to
zero.
Tori, because 0010
Yeah.
MVP, but she was there. The traction pulls were there. KP 67%. Yes, you see high KPs on mid laners, but 67%, yeah, that's a decent one. She was basically only the third kills that happened are the ones she missed. The two before that, she always was there. So very great performance from her. With Kimi, especially if you don't have Sky Piercer, it's really, really hard to secure those kills. If she had a Sky Piercer, possibly those 10 assists could have been some of them moved into the kill department. And right now, let's talk about the best stat that you love the most, Gerd. Gold per minute, 9,000. How did she do that? Could you walk us through that?
Yeah, again, it's probably the minute is as long as the match itself. We're probably somewhere around the black hole where the time is dilated. So yeah, I'm not gonna become nerdy enough to explain all of that. Though we have a look at the damage delta as well. 46,000 for Celia, pretty solid job. Varakuka.exe was the one who was sustaining a lot of that. Tori on the other side with the assist queen, 10 assists coming in for her. We already saw that onto the MVP performance as well. And as you rightfully mentioned, she was present in all of those fights. One of the big reason, again, Valir on the other side does not have enough damage or the kind of skill set that is required to clear out those waves instantly. So the Kimi will always have the priority in the river. And as soon as the Kimi has the priority in the river, your entire mid duo can control wherever they want to go, be it in the bottom lane or be it in the top side. So those are the few pointers which I think so. It's something a lot of players and teams need to understand, that if you want to control the momentum of the game, you need to make sure you have a strong mid duo so that you can take care of that river.
Absolutely. That was a big detriment, not just to Phantom, but also to Crimson Onyx. That's exactly what happened to them in the first game. And then in the second, even though they had Sylvana, but they kind of slacked off, weren't there in time. And then it kind of spiraled from that. So actually, first game, forget it. First game is what I meant. With Estes, it was a little bit different story. But right now, let's talk about the chances. All right, let's not talk chances, but let's talk the approach that Phantom needs to use in order to beat Boars Esports. Because from this game that we saw, Boars Esports looked like a very well-oiled machine. They looked like the synergy is there, the teamwork is there, rotations are there, mechanics are there. Everything was on point. So where are the weaknesses?
Draft. That's a clear cut thing I'm gonna say. You had the chance to pick up the Claude or maybe the Carry. Carry would have been a fantastic pick, combining it with the Kaja as well. You know that you can burst down the enemy with the speedy light wheels. So that could have been a pretty solid pick. If not a Carry, then you could have gone for a Claude as well. But Claude, I again feel you kind of get depended upon the two of your diving members. So you need Esmeralda to hop in the backline along with the Freya, and then you can utilize that dive of Claude. Apart from that, yeah, I personally feel just a few tweaks here and there in the draft, and we will see a different result from Phantom. Boars Esports on the other side, they're doing everything right. That's the only thing. Maybe the farming speed could be increased a little bit, but that's again, I'm just nitpicking here. They were the ones who were able to control the entire game since the starting minute till the last minute. So yeah, I personally feel Phantom really need to make sure that they change the draft. We saw this happen yesterday as well, or the day before that. The Mia in the Nana composition of helicopters, Boars Esports destroyed them. That's exactly what happened here.
Yeah, that's the thing with meta champs. Like the off meta champs, or like the ones that are not so highly rated in the meta, are the problem is that they are not bad,
Hmm.
but the numbers are not
Yeah.
really working for them that well. So in those fights where it's neck to neck, 5 HP there, 10 damage here will change the outcome of
Yeah.
the fight. You cannot be sitting on the heroes that are not as optimized. That's all it's about. That's why you need to go for those meta heroes, because you could have a player that's very, very good, but if you put him on
Hmm.
something that's really of meta, it's not really fit, and especially it's not really as well fitting into the team comp, into the opposing team comp. Well, what can he do? He can play as well as he can play, but it's not enough.
Exactly. That is one of the big things which even I always talk about, right? You need to have those strong picks, or at least even the picks that, if they are not strong individually, they work together really well. So that synergy between your picks is something that kind of matters too. And that's one thing which I want to see Phantoms pull out. As I said, you pick up a carry, even though individually, even right now, she's individually pretty busted. But on the other end of the spectrum, imagine if there was a counter lineup of carry on the other side. So even though she might individually not win up the lane, but with the combination of Kajas, she can at least get one confirmed kill. Even if that's a Hilda on the other side, you immediately burst her down with the speedy light wheels. That's the amount of damage you have after that Trinity build. And you've got a ton of mobility as well with this small dash. You can instantly reposition if things go haywire. You have either the purify or the flicker to help yourself out. Those are, again, some of those points which will help you out in the future. But on the other side of the spectrum, Phantom, you've got to stop Luvia too. You should understand that there are going to be certain heroes that will give you a wombo setup, like the Sora, like the Tigreal, like the Atlas, maybe even the Minotaur in some cases. These are the kind of picks that instantly surprise you. But most of the time, you can see it coming. You have to think it from the perspective of someone else as well. When four of you are sticking together and the Sora is in the flicker range, you know that Shifting Sky Torrent Force with the flicker is coming towards you. So you've got to spread out a bit. And if you're using a Hanabi, you've got the Aegis, you've got the Ninjutsu Equinox. That shield should be enough to save you, or at least help you out of the harm's way. But when it's four people diving you, you can't really do anything. So it is definitely tough.
But right now we see Phantom on the red side, so that's the side they chose, I believe, right? Losing team chooses the side, so they should be on the
Yep.
side of their liking. Maybe they didn't quite like the blue. They are feeling themselves more confidently when it comes to counter picks, so maybe we will see something good in the counter pick department. Zatian, so it looks like Boars Esports really know something about Zatian, and they really don't like her. They want to keep her off. But there was one thing I wanted to talk about, and that's, it's such a coincidence that we have Boars Esports here in Frozen Diva, and their XP laner is so good. And then you have Boars Esports, the original team, and their XP laner
Real
is
lineup.
so good. It's it's a little bit of a coincidence, you know. Like maybe there will have been some coaching happening, maybe some tips thrown there, or maybe it's just the Boards Gaming attracts all the talented XP laners. What can I say?
Yeah, that could be one of those possibilities. Or maybe it's just that every person teaches each other, so they're kind of working together, and that's one thing. Again, the Carmilla ban, Zayden has got a ton of pokes, so she becomes really annoying to deal with. I kind of understand why teams like to put her in the ban section, don't really want to deal with that. anti-dive as well, which is coming in. So it's all cool. Jushin Sora, understandable. You don't want to deal with Luvia and shifting sky combinations. It's pretty good ban. Last few bans. I don't think so Freya was a problem for Boars Esports. If anything, they can try and prioritize it for themselves. So maybe Phantom's last ban is going to be a Freya.
Yeah, but if Boars Esports were practicing Freya, they could definitely go for it. And since she is part of the active meta pick roster,
Mm-hmm.
it's probably something they have ready. So
Leo.
Phantom should be Leo. Yeah, Leo is still open, but as I mentioned before, I don't feel like Leo is kind of first pick material. Is he? I don't know. I'm not
It's not
sure.
first pick material, but Boars Esports will pick him up in the second picking phase. So that's
Yeah,
something you
yeah,
know will happen.
yeah.
So you either deny the Leo mod or you simply ban him out. There's no other way that I see
I
Boars
think you leave him
Phantom
open.
denying that.
I think you leave him open because then you can either get Freya or you get Leo or you get Grok and Leo. You know, like there are options. I feel all right. You ban Grok. Okay. So
Mm,
now you either get Freya or Leo.
Freya, you try and steal it with the Leo mod, and you lock in the Esmeralda to deal with Freya probably.
Is
Get
she
where they picked it up.
is she that good into Freya? Like I know the shield part, but is she that good? Like overall?
I mean, she did not show it to us yesterday. It was a CC that she picked up in the first one, and then a Bruno in the second one. So this is going to be the first time where we will see Estelia use that Freya. But yeah, in terms of everything that you can do, Freya is a pretty solid pick. You need a heavy anti-dive in order to counter her. One of that is definitely a Phobius. You can pair him up as well with a Minotaur. Maybe you can get an extra bit of taunt with a Gato and then go in for the AOG. But Freya has got a lot of mobility. So it becomes a bit more difficult to catch her without any kind of suppression.
All
And
right.
Beleric
I
wasn't
mean,
the best pick I was thinking of, but
but
okay.
she is cooking like they are cooking. Because honestly, I like the smell of the food that they are doing. Because think about it. Anyone that stands next to Belric cannot be killed by Freya. That's just given. And his ultimate has such a wide range that Freya will have very hard time running out from it if she doesn't want to burn her ultimate
Hmm.
for it or something like that. If she is on top of her target and Belric is next to her, she has basically nothing to dodge either his first spell or dodge his ultimate taunt. Like it's really, really hard. So I kind of like it. The thing is, how well it works into the rest of the team. Because against Freya, it's good. Rest of the team, we will have to see.
Faster is just going to ignore the Beleric altogether
Yeah.
and target the backline. You've already got the Yuzhong as well to brick wall the EXP lane. So it's going to be one of those neutral matchups with the back and forth. What are you going to pick up to try and stop Freya? Maybe you can put up the Esmeralda into the gold lane and lock in a Phobius. There's already a decent amount of dashes on the other side, but it's still a Valier.
All right. It looks like it's a comfort pick because there's not really any other way around it. I,
It's a comfort, yeah, I agree.
yeah. Yeah, I'm not quite sure if it fits as well here because I know, yeah, Boric will try to make the fights long, Freya will make the fights long as well. But if we look at Yuzong and especially the Yuzong build that's been played, the Hunter Strike into Queen's Wings into tank, where you just try to one shot the backline and you are dropping the Vorax, and so this new iteration of Yuzong, I'm not really sure if Valier is the hero to match that because you will need something to deal damage immediately. Something like Yves dropping RWM on in the fight, dropping it all, AoEing everyone. Valier he thrives
Mhm.
in longer fights, and I am not sure if he will be enabled to play these long fights.
That's the point I wanted to mention. It's an instant burst from Farsa's feathered airstrike, so I don't think so. We will have those prolonged fights. But yeah, I agree. In terms of him playing the anti-dive with the searing torrent that you have, you can push the Freya back as soon as she hops on top of you.
Yeah,
So that is one thing you can do. And then you've also got the Inferno, you can instantly pop it. You've got Purify, and now you've got a 40% movement speed buff as well. That is going to deal for over the next 3 seconds. So basically, you get that extra bit of movement speed. You push her away, you get back, reposition, boom, boom, boom. You throw down that burst fireball on her face, keep her stunned up at a particular point. And you can kind of pair it up as well with the Belleric's Wrath of Riots and maybe the skill 1 Taunt. So Freya is going to be, kind of occupied. But now you need something that can dive on the enemy backline along with the Esmeralda. You cannot leave her alone. And with the Leslie along with the Ixia banned out, those are a bit of a comfort bans. I think so. This is a good game for a Claude.
yeah, it is. I have to agree. And also Claude, with the way he is being built, he can very easily go for the warrior boots and make it very very hard for Yuzong or Freya to burst him down, especially with the corrosion side and the Trinity completed. He is not really the easiest marksman to burst down when you are going for him. Similar story would be for Moscow, but yeah, Claude for the dive works much better.
Exactly. But yeah, I kind of feel that if in case they kind of want to go with a bit of a front to back, maybe pick up a carry, we might potentially see another comfort pick from them though. So that could be
Hanabi,
entirely
all right,
fine.
they are doubling down on it. Okay, well,
She's just, I don't know, man. She's just gonna get outranged by the Farsa, so it's
yeah,
tough.
I think even with Malefic Gun, she is not really maybe on the edge like with Kari, but I'm not quite
Go
sure.
crit, go crit. That's the only way with Hanabi. You have the Hearth Claw, you'll be able to sustain, and you do need that sustain. But my God, Hylos and Yisun Shin locked up by Boars Esports. This draft is so set.
Yeah, you are correct. You wouldn't be wrong. Boars Esports definitely have a team comp that's much more meta, much more sticking together. Where I feel like every
Yeah,
hero they have pairs up with the other. It's like a full circle. Like everyone is helping each other. Everything is synergistic. Where for Phantoms, I see the idea, but I don't feel the same way of the heroes being interconnected to each other. I feel like there's Burrick, he will protect the back line, and there is Esmeralda, who will try to jump into the opposing back line. But other than that, I'm not feeling as strongly. But it's Raphael, huh? Wait, what? Where is she going? Is it? It's Burrick Exp. All right, it's Burrick XP. Raf, Rome.
yeah. It's Beleric XP in the hands of Yatueli
Okay,
and a
that's
Rafaela in the Rome position against a Hylos. You know what?
an
All right, I do understand the vision with the ultimate. She's basically got that anti dive in a straight line. Apart from that, a bit of a vision from a skill one into those bushes with the holy healing as well. She can help out with that mobility. I do see an idea from Phantom this time, so maybe, just maybe.
we might be going into the land of dawn for the last time today because this could possibly be a 2-0 for Boars Esports to secure the Boars legacy that they are building right now. Or it might not. We will see. But right now, Freya
Could be a big one.
1v4. She doesn't have a care in the war. She's fighting them. She's fighting
Oh,
them all. Almost trying to go for that orange buff steal. Great cut actually coming from us. Leah already mixing it up. For a second, I thought it's Phantoms making the play, but then I realized it's Boars Gaming. Well, they have confidence. You cannot deny that.
And you instantly look at the position of Fumetsu as well, hopping in to steal over the gargoyle in towards the bottom side, just to try and deny those creeps to Voltino onto that jungle with the Esmeralda. Oh, we're still fighting.
Illuvia going for the petrify, but Char residue has been popped, so not enough damage. But in Voltino, she cannot form. Valier needs to flicker out of harm's way. This looks even worse than the first game for Phantoms. They are getting picked apart.
Good luck, Inishu. You cannot do anything to Acelia right now. She's just level 3. Inishu is also going to problem set to minion. Oh, look at bot.
Yatuil, not even level 3. Illuvia is almost one, even more than two levels ahead for a bit, but now it has been fixed. So Yatuil just one level behind, but one level in the second minute. This already looks kind of bad, but it's all stemming from the draft. We mentioned it, we said it. We really like the left side draft. We don't really like the right side draft. We don't really feel like, oh, Petrify, stun going through, Involtino will get picked off, first blood, and now 2, almost maybe 3, Malia. No more flicker for you, so unfortunately, she goes down to Fumetsu. Respawn, alright, so she's back in frame, but 2,000 gold lead, and the piggy banks are getting thicker and thicker for Boars.
2,400 as well. I agree. It is going to be so much problematic for Phantom to hop back in this one. And here's the big thing. Oh, they're going to gank bot again.
Yatuil is fine, but Melia...
It's not even 3 minutes into the game. She's recalling for probably the second or third time. Level 4. No, she's not fine, Warren.
I'm trying to be positive, you know? I'm trying to find the nice things, you know? Come on, Scared. Try to find the nice things.
Level 6 onto the Ascension to a level 4 of Envolting onto the Esmeralda.
Level 7. It's level 7. Better try flicker inside the enemy jungle. Melia gets picked off. In Voltino as well. Double kill for Fumetsu. Boars Esports with a 3,000 gold lead. They are trying to keep it up with the time of the game right now.
It's 1,000 gold lead every single minute added into the mix as well. And they're going to take the entire gold plating off the mid tower. Maybe make it the mid tower itself entirely in less than 4 minutes in this game. Holy smokes. It's a hunter strike already in the hands of Fumetsu. And look at up top.
Tricky 1v1, almost killing Neymar Jr. Acelia. Almost dying for her actions. I have to say, very nice usage of the Aegis for Inechu. Great bait, but Involtino not being so successful in her own baiting because she gets picked off. Luckily for her, Rafi is there to respawn her again.
There's the gold plating up top tower has been taken away as well, including the tower itself. So yeah, now Ineshu is going to face a lot more problems in terms of clearing a wave. She's always trying to poke down Celia onto that Freya, and you cannot do that if you're a Hanabi. You will have to make sure that you first clear out the wave, prioritize those items. One slight change that she's gone for is now she's got the quantum charge instead of the weakness finder. So just getting that extra bit of sustain with a little bit of that movement speed. Corrosion Scythe already made. So she is keeping up with the item power spike that's coming in for Boars Esports, minus the full boots. I understand that. Good call. You want to prioritize the items rather than spend that 600 to 700 gold onto those boots. But either ways, you can't run away. Oh, alright. I really thought maybe Involtino's gonna fall again.
Call me crazy, but I don't think it's that bad. Hear me out. The goal difference is huge. But we saw, oh, this is bad. Freya jumping in, going for Yatul and the rest. Xena is trying to move apart the team to let her teammates survive. That will be successful. But they are going for another dive? Back to back? No way.
My guy, look at the HP.
Like
Look at the
before,
level.
Involtino getting popped now as Leah with a flicker into the backline. Inechu getting picked off. It's a double for Boars Esports. They are picking them apart. But back to the topic. Before this fight, I wanted to say it's not that bad because if you look at the individual gold, it's just like 1k per person. That's not that bad.
Yeah. Now say that again.
It's just 1,000 per person. Come on, Scared. It's
You look at
playable.
what? You look at the 1800 gold right now in the hands of Involting, and then you look at a 4800 for Fumetsu. That is not 1000 in any way, Warren.
Yeah,
That
he
is
kind of
3,000.
sprinted away, you know, like every group has that one odd one out, you know, like he doesn't follow the rules. So that's Fumetsu for her team. Like she is that odd one out. She had to had to do it to be special.
Here's the fun thing. Involtino has not even secured one purple buff this entire game.
That's right.
On an Esmeralda in the jungle.
Yeah.
Oh!
Barely surviving. She almost got killed.
Oh, no, patience, time out. Hold on, Tori. What?
Isn't Chen? Will he 1v3? He's going for it. He went for Raf. Monster kill. He knew Belric is recalling and he jumped in the right moment. Fumetsu. She is cooking.
Good luck, Involtino.
Ooh, she's alive. She is alive.
Yeah.
For now.
Sailing Torrent actually saved her life for a second there, but I think Satori eventually cancelled out her feathered airstrike. That's the only reason for her surviving. Another glorious pathway in mid.
Yeah, this is hard to watch if you are a fan of Phantoms. This has to be excruciating for you because this game is not going in their favor at all. Everything is falling apart. Nothing is going their way. But truth be told, they made it hard themselves as well a lot with the draft.
I mean, you look at the entire lineup, it's just so squishy. You have got Yatuili on the Belleric, yes, understandable. You've got Involtino. But it's an Involtino jungle who's not got a single purple buff yet. That's another turtle in the hands of Boars Esports right now. Look at the items. A Genius Wand, Lightning Truncheon, a Dommy in the hands of Hylos along with Radiant Armor. So no more magic damage from either the Belleric or the Esmeralda. Or even Melia on the Valir.
Oh my god! That one shot coming from first strike onto 2. That was almost solo. Double kill for Tori.
She also flickered forward to land the last shot onto Melia.
Yeah.
Massive. The only saving grace right now for Phantom is that Inishu actually has got the golden star, but look at the Black Dragon form.
Black Dragon form deciding, trying to end this game at all. Now going for the backline, go like Fumeki, and now there is Asulia getting picked off. Inechu is just 2 members trying to defend their base. 1v3, can they really do it? I'm not quite sure. There is Reactul trying to make some space. Melia throwing the fireballs left and right. Does she have what it takes? 1v3, I'm not quite sure if she can do it, because the crystal has been exploded and Boars Esports are taking it by storm, and not just this team, but whole Boars Esports as the organization. Boars Gaming 2-0. Queendom actually.
Queendom. Yeah, exactly. The 2-0 Queendom is insane. Man, this is just... It is tough, is all I'm gonna say. You go in for again a comfort pick. You let out every single good hero open, and you allow Boars Esports to make a lineup of all of their good picks. Yeah, good luck surviving that, man. That Hylos was the final nail in the coffin. Can't really stop a Hylos with a Rafaela when you've got a mid lane Valir. Understandable that on paper, those could be your counter picks, but that doesn't happen once you add into the mixture their mage, that is a Farsa, who's just outranging everyone, and a Ascension into the jungle against an Esmeralda, where you know Esmeralda will not have a proper wave clear or the execution line. And you've also given up the Freya into the gold lane, so Esma is kind of a counter pick for Freya, but you're not putting Esma in that lane. So yeah, it is tough.
Oh, absolutely. Tough is the right word. It has been really tough. But on the positive note, we have to say that Boars Gaming have the best scouts out there because they sniped three teams that
Mm-hmm.
were 2-0. They literally got all the teams that went 2-0 from all the matches that we saw. They got it nailed down. They knew. Fumetsu with an MVP. Absolutely gorgeous performance. That Shin, damn, that was good. She was always in the right spot, even at one moment going for that cheeky 1v3, not real 1v3 in the end, but she caught off Rafaela right as Boric recalled. Well, Boars Esports, they picked apart their opponents.
As you rightfully mentioned, playing picture perfect on that Heesun Shin. It was 6 minutes on the clock. She was already level 11, and that clearly showed you the potential that a Heesun Shin has to run away in terms of that farm. And I always talk about it. Whatever minute is there on the clock, if your hero level on the jungler is plus 5 the amount of minutes on the clock, you are doing a fantastic job. You're just winning and steamrolling through the game. If it's plus 4, you're matching the pace of your opponent. And she was doing that plus 5. That is exactly what you need on that jungler. Constantly stealing away the orange, or rather the purple buffs of in Voltino, instantly hopping back in. You've got the gold for the entire match is 8,550. Mind it, 14-minute game. So it is not a long game. If anything, you've got a Yisun Shin along with a Farsa. Those two are late game damage dealers. The only early game damage dealer you've got is a Freya in the hands of a Celia, and even she was able to do her job phenomenally well.
Wait,
Sona with 9 assists as well. All the stars are from Boars Esports.
wait, scared. Do I have a deja vu? Because
Yeah,
this exact score was in the first game. Was
surprise,
it the
surprise.
same?
Yeah, no, this came ended way too early. That's all I'm gonna say.
Because I think those stats might have been from the last.
Yeah, maybe just a few tweaks that are happening here and there. I believe it was less than 10 minutes that this game lasted.
Yeah.
Yeah, or it was 9 minutes and 32 seconds on the board. So again, 9 minutes. You've got 9,000 gold. That's 1,000 gold per minute. More than 1,000 gold per minute. That is mind blowing. So yeah,
Oh,
Famitsu doing a phenomenal job out of that Shin in the jungle is what you really need. That see how instantly the entire stat blows up. 8,550 gold, I believe it was. So yeah, it was somewhere around 8.9k gold per minute or something like that. That is a really good stat.
yeah, all we can say is that the game ended so quickly that we couldn't even catch up. It was just so fast.
It's absolutely fine. Yeah, I mean, again, Warren. So it was your first day here. Talk to me about your day. How did you feel?
Yes, it was my first day here at Frozen Diva, and I have to say, I was definitely expecting fierce competition. I was definitely expecting because from the ladies that we had over at the other tournaments, we definitely saw that a lot of them are very skilled and they can deliver a lot of very good gameplay. So when I heard that there will be a tournament just for them to see how fiercely they can battle, I was really ecstatic. I was really happy about
Yeah.
it, and today absolutely delivered because Boars Gaming, Boars Esports, Boars Queens, Boars Divine, all of them, absolutely gorgeous performance. But honestly, a lot of credit has to be given to their opponents. There was there, especially for example, Crimson Onyx. They had that second game. They almost had it. Really didn't.
Yeah.
There was not really that much left for them to finish it off, take it home.
Yeah.
So yes, it's a 2-0, but you have to take the context. You have to see how it was, the full picture. But yeah, what can I say? I have to go back to the point. Boars Gaming have the best scouts out there.
I agree, man. The lineup has been undefeated yet, let alone in a series, not even in a game, have they faced a defeat, ladies and gentlemen. So that's about it for today as well. Boars Divine 2-0, Crimson Onyx, Boars Esports continuing their streak of 2-0 against Phantom out here. You all were watching the ESEL Female Pro League Season 1 Frozen Diva. It was me, Scared Yet, and alongside me, we also had my man, handsome boy, Warren 1X. We're going to be catching you guys on the next stream. Till then, make sure you hit that like button, click on the subscribe button as well, and hit that bell notification so you do not miss out on any of the future videos as well as these events which will be carried out by ESCL. And congratulations for the giveaway winner, which we will be announcing soon. So make sure you follow us on our socials as well to always stay up to date, to always stay updated with every type of fun activity that we're going to have. And now I know even Warren wants to see if he eventually won the giveaway or not. So we're going to be hopping off. Thank you so much for tuning in. Bye bye. Good night.